Thank you for watching Super Bowl tonight. I am Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me tonight is Derek, Kendall, Charlie, SK, and Jake. How you guys doing?
Doing great, doing great. Finally
How we
here,
doing?
Super
We
Bowl
good. We
tomorrow.
good.
Ready for the game.
Yeah.
Happy Super Bowl's Eve, I guess we can say, right?
Right. Right.
All right, let's go ahead and touch on some subjects for the game. So, first question I want to ask you guys: will the injuries on the offensive line slow down the Chiefs throughout the game? Started with Derek.
I believe so. I feel like this game will be a testament to Kansas City's depth on the offensive line. You have Eric Fisher who's out with a torn Achilles, so it's going to be tough to replace a Pro Bowl offensive lineman. So we're going to see how they do. And they just got killed Gore back probably like 6 or 7 hours early, as it was a report on NFL.com that they got killed Gore back. He was in mid haircut when they found out that the barber had COVID. Another like 20 players were in line to get haircuts by this same barber, and the guy had half his head shaved off. He put it as his Twitter picture actually, and he had half his hair shaved off, half of it was still on. So I think it's gonna be tough for them, but I feel like I said, this is gonna be a testament to their depth on the offensive line. But I think they'll pull through.
All right, Kendall.
Yeah, I think it's going to have a huge impact on the game for the Chiefs. I mean, because they're used to playing with the offensive line, doing Eric Fisher getting hurt against the Bills. I mean, it's really going to hurt them towards Achilles. They was already missing. Is it Mitchell? Is it Schwartz? They were missing. Well, yes, they was already missing, but he's been out since like the beginning of the year, like week 6, week 5 or 6, I believe. So I don't think I think they'll be all right there. But missing Fisher, he's a pretty good offensive tackle. It's going to hurt him. And then with the Chiefs offense, you got Patrick Mahomes. He tends to hold the ball a little bit, and they got all them weapons. So it's going to see. It's not the Bills defensive line or the Browns defensive line. You're going up against Tampa Bay. They got a couple of Pro Bowls, and they got stars on that defensive line. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they hold up.
Charlie.
Yeah, it's certainly going to make it more difficult, but we've seen Mahomes make throws on the run a lot. He's definitely going to be running for his life, but we've seen him do it before behind an average O-line. So I feel like he can overcome the shortcomings that an injured offensive line will bring him.
SK.
Sorry, I was muted there. I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. His passing ability can overcome that offensive line. So in the running game is where I'm really going to look to see how those linemen stack up. Because Mahomes, he can get out the pocket. He can make you miss. He's not Lamar, but he still has running ability to get away from that pass rush. So in the running game, I feel like it's going to be more of an impact. Tampa Bay does have JPP, Sue. They have a great defensive line, but like I said, I still feel like Mahomes can escape that. Give me some of that Mahomes magic, get the ball down the field. So I'm really going to be looking more into the running game aspect than I am of Patrick Mahomes in the passing game to see the effect that the linemen will have.
Jake.
I think SK makes a good point with that. The thing, however, is I think that Kansas City can to some degree be content with not running that much because they have Mahomes. I think the thing is that why it's going to be very tough for him. I mean, most quarterbacks put in this division wouldn't be able to do it solely because of the fact they don't have the God-given ability to run. You know what I mean? Like if we put Tom Brady in this position, not because he's better or not, but it's just like he doesn't have the wheels to do it. He's going to be running a lot. But the thing about his weapons is you could throw a 3-yard pass at Tyreek Hill and he could go 70 yards. So the thing is that Kansas City has so many different ways that they can score on you that it's really going to be interesting because something can look like a quick little play and Tyreek can literally outrun the rest of the planet. I think it's going to be Mahomes is going to have to be smart with it because when you tend to go out of the pocket too much, sometimes you do throws that even the gods can't make. I think it's going to definitely hinder it, but there hasn't been a time where there's only been one time where I've seen Mahomes truly fall down, and that was 2018 AFC Championship game. There was a lot behind that, so I think it's going to make it harder, but I still think they're going to be able to overcome it.
Yeah, and I think it's going to actually be the difference in the game. And I like the Bucs defensive line just because they're healthier than what the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line is. But, of course, you do have Patrick Mahomes back there that can always create some magic. All right. Let me ask you guys this: whose defense do you trust more, the Buccaneers defense or the Kansas City Chiefs defense? Started with Derek.
Easily the Bucks defense. You got Shaq Barrett, Sue, you're getting Vita Vea back, and you have JPP all on defensive line. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to stop that because they beat you with a 4-man rush or even with a 3-man rush. Somebody can easily get home. You have solid corners. Their corners are they're not the best, but they're not the worst. Like I said, they're solid. So I trust them defensively. Like yeah, Kansas City might have more. I guess you would say they have more of a timely defense, but I feel like the better defense is with Tampa Bay.
Kendall.
That's a great pick there, Derek. But my pick right here is not gonna have any finding on the game. But I'm going with the Chiefs defense. The last two games that Tom Brady has played against the Steve Spagnuolo coach defense, he has 3 interceptions in the last two games. His last season with the Patriots and earlier this year with Tampa Bay, he threw 2 picks. He threw one against Spagnuolo defense against the Patriots with the Patriots last year. Well, in the 2019 season. So I mean, and then we've seen what Steve Spagnuolo's defenses can do to Tom Brady in a couple of Super Bowl. Well, the second Super, I don't believe Steve Spagnuolo was on that defense, but the first one he was. But yeah, we've seen what he can do. He's gonna bring pressure. He's gonna blitz, and Tom Brady he struggled. So I'm going with the Chiefs defense.
Charlie.
Yeah, I think I agree with Derek. I trust the Bucks defense a lot more than I do the Chiefs defense. I mean, Derek mentioned Vita Vea. He came back from injury last week. He's going to really help lock down that run game. And you have Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul, who's one of the best pass rushing duos in the NFL. You have Ndamukong Suh at 3 tech, and not to mention Levante David and Devin White at linebacker. I think they have a lot more playmakers on defense than Kansas City, and I trust them to be generating a lot of pressure in the game tomorrow.
SK.
You know what? Talking to the Chiefs, a couple of the Chiefs defensive players this week, they really feel calm and confident. While talking to some of the Bucks players, they just seem real giddy and anxious and excited. While the Chiefs is more calm, cool, and collected. Talk to Derek Nandi
Nandi, Derek
Nandi,
Nandi.
their defensive tackle. I'm sorry, my dog's going crazy.
It's all
Talk
right.
to him and just about his game preparation and everything, especially coming from the last game and how they're just very calm and they're very cool and collected and seeing what they did last game. They feel like they can take it into this game. And we got to look at Antoine Whitfield. He's hurt on the Bucks side of things, so that's going to definitely impact them. Even if he does play, we don't know if he's going to be an impact player that he usually is. So I'm really feeling confident with the Bucks and just how their swag and their confidence has been this week compared to the Kansas City. So compared to the Bucks. So I'm going with the team who's been there, done that, and just seems more confident. So I'm going with the Bucks on this one.
Hey, SK, real quick, off topic. What kind of dog do you have?
Um, I don't even know. It was a dog that my parents found somewhere, and they was some good. They were some good people, and he just never left. So now he's with me.
It's all good. I got my little dog running around here
I think
too. Hey,
he's actually Roscoe. What are you? What are you? But like I said, KC defense and Antoine Whitfield is going to be huge on that other side of the ball. So I'm going KC.
anytime you watch a live stream with East West, you never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jake.
I think there's been both points made because I think that like personnel wise, the Tampa Bay Bucks defense is better, and they've been such a turnover forcing machine in the playoffs. They've done it to all three guys. I mean, obviously Taylor Heineke's at a different level, but the amount of turnovers they forced against Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees was very impressive because Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw picks very often. But on the Chiefs defense, you do have a team that has done it before and a team that defensively you don't feel like matches up to them well, but they kind of just rise up in the moment. If they feel that I feel they get so much energy from Mahomes in the way that their offense plays. I've noticed that in the thing. So I think that it's hard because I think it almost depends on the start. If the Chiefs I mean, honestly, I can't say because the Chiefs play better when they're down, apparently, almost. So, but I just have to say the Bucks because their defense is intrinsically better and they've been forcing so many turnovers.
I mean, both defenses have been playing great, but I just feel like Tampa Bay's defense is special, especially with Devin White. I trust the Bucks defense a little bit more than what I do the Chiefs.
Let's not forget about Levante David too.
And
Still
Levante
linebacker.
David and Antoine Winfield
Yeah.
Jr. will play. Made it official, so that's going to be huge for that Tampa defense. All right, guys, what backfield do you trust more, Kansas City's or the Buccaneers? Start out with Derek.
I'll take Ro Jones and Leonard Fournette. Only because, and that's not to say Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell are bad, but I would go with the experience because they've been, these guys have been in the trenches. So, I feel like even though this is as far as these two running backs have been in the playoffs, I feel like I would go with the experience. I feel like they're going to run harder. I feel like they're getting used to playing, like they got used to playing with Tom Brady. So I feel like with that guidance and his tutelage guiding them along the way, I feel like when you're playing with greatness like that, that makes your level of play rise. So I feel like their level of play is going to be higher. I feel like whoever wins the ground game will win the game ultimately.
Kendall.
I'm going Tampa Bay. I don't feel it's really close because when you look at it, I mean the Chiefs, the running back for the Chiefs, they're not going to get a lot of opportunity. We've seen the Chiefs come out and throw the ball 45 to 50 times. They come out shotgun 4 or 5 wide almost every snap. They really don't run the ball. The Chiefs they normally probably only run the ball more than 12 times a game. So I'm going Tampa Bay. They're gonna have lots more opportunities, and especially on Sunday, I'm going Rojo and Fournette. He's been in the AFC Championship game. He's been there. He's been in the playoffs. He's been deep in the playoffs a couple of times. And now we know Ronald Jones. He's a still explosive running back. So I'm going Tampa Bay.
Charlie.
I'm going Tampa also, simply because that Tampa Bay duo is going to be getting a lot more opportunities against the Packers. The Bucks early in the game established the run on first down. I think especially with the offensive line woes the Chiefs have and with the front seven they're facing, I don't see them running the ball a lot. I feel like the Bucks will want to run the ball a lot more.
SK.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of that, with that offensive line, like I mentioned earlier, when you asked, I feel like it's going to impact the running game more. But if you would have asked me this 2 or 3 weeks ago, going into the playoffs after the year that Fournette had, I would definitely go with the Chiefs. But seeing that he's been rumbling and tumbling these last couple playoff games and really establishing himself within the offense again, I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette. He's the power. Jones, he has some speed to him. He can break for a long touchdown. He got some more home run capability. They got a more healthy offensive line. So finally, Leonard Fournette starting to pick up the pace of what he was doing in Jacksonville. So with this one, I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back duo that I trust more going into tomorrow's game.
Jake.
Yeah, I wish I could be different, but just Tampa Bay. Yeah, I think it's all the obvious answer. In addition, because the Chiefs just don't rely on the run as much as Tampa Bay does, so that's a big thing. The offensive line is a big thing. Both of Ronald Jones is more explosive than Edwards-Helaire or Le'Veon Bell. I just kind of think also they're going to rely on it more, and they've had to rely on it. It's worked. So I just think that, the Tampa Bay one, it's going to be more a thing. I don't know if the Chiefs necessarily, obviously they want to be able to run. I don't think the Chiefs are going to feel their game plan is very much different if they're not running at an elite level.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I like the Tampa Bay's running back duo better than the Kansas City Chiefs one. All right. Question of the night. Who you guys got? Start with Derek. Who wins Super Bowl 55?
It's hard to bet against a guy who's won 6 Super Bowls in basically my entire lifetime. I'm 24 years old. This guy's been playing football for 21 years. He's been to 10 Super Bowls and could possibly win 70% of those. But I'm going to bet against him. I feel like if Kansas City gets up early and makes Tom Brady go down the field and have to score a touchdown versus a field goal to win, then I'm going with Kansas City. I will go with Kansas City 31-27.
Kendall,
I'm keeping my pick. I'm going Tampa Bay 38-34. No, 34-31. Tampa Bay.
Charlie.
Obviously, the main storyline of the Super Bowl is going to be between the matchup between the two quarterbacks, but an NFL roster size is 53, not 1, and the games are won in the trenches. And I feel like on the offensive line and on the defensive line, Tampa Bay has the advantage, so I'm going with Tampa Bay 31-26.
SK. You're on mute.
I just feel
There
like
you
it's
go.
gonna be some Mahomes. Feel like it's gonna be some Mahomes magic tomorrow. Especially just the way Brady has played. Even though they won the game, I feel like they've more been winning in spite of him. So I'm going 31-27, and Roscoe is going 31-27. Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes is gonna pull it out for us. Okay.
I'm glad you gave Roscoe's pick because I was actually about to ask you who he was picking for the game.
Yeah, Roscoe knows who to go with.
All right, Jake.
Well, it's kind of hard. I mean, initially, Tom Brady only loses to irrelevant quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Just kidding. But I just feel like Mahomes is the exception to a lot of rules. Like, you don't normally see a guy come out and have the career start that he had. And yes, there's a lot of difficulty on the offensive line, and you're playing against the GOAT, who has a very good defense and that. But I just feel like if you give Mahomes a chance, he's going to use it. And the only time I've seen him like really lose is when we think about that AFC Championship in overtime. He didn't get a chance. Every time the dude gets a chance, he seems to deliver. And I honestly like the score of 31-27 also. I think it's going to be a great game. I think that, there's so much legacy on the line for both of these guys because if Brady wins his 7th, we're going to say no. We could say he's uncatchable. But let's say Mahomes wins this and we look back in 15 years, Mahomes has won 5 Super Bowls, and we say he beat Tom Brady head-to-head. This is just a very big legacy game for both these guys and just an exciting matchup that also, first time at home. This is going to be so interesting.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I'm not going to predict. I'm not going to give a score because a lot of different crazy things can happen, but I like the Bucks. And we got Ivan Luther King. They cheated in that AFC Championship game.
Who cheated? The Patriots?
Patriots? No, I think you forgot D4 jumped off sides, and
D4
that's what
I
happened.
don't remember that, bro. I don't remember that.
Yeah, D4 lost
I don't
them the
remember
game.
that.
Yeah. I mean, no.
They were if they complete because you gave up what was it between fourth quarter overtime? They gave up 5 straight 3rd and 10s.
They couldn't stop the run in overtime, couldn't they?
No.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop Julian Edelman.
That defense cheated you. That Chiefs
Exactly.
victory. All right, gentlemen. Any final thoughts before we end this live stream?
Yeah, to be fair, that year they were 31. The Chiefs were the 31st ranked defense. So the fact that
yeah, exactly. But I mean, it goes back to saying like no one cheated. You lost the game. I mean, it is what it is, right?
I just want to say whichever team wins, it's gonna be a great storyline. If Tom Brady wins, he's gonna have 7. He won his first flat Belichick. If Mahomes win, he'll have 2. They'll be repeat champions, and he have 2 rings, 2 Super Bowls at the age of 25. So either way, it's gonna be Either way, it's gonna be
baby go.
I mean, next week we could be talking about the Chiefs trying to do a 3-peat. Like it's gonna be some good storylines.
Yeah.
Just remember,
That's the dynasty in the
Patrick
making.
Mahomes was down 24-0 in a playoff game. From that point on, his team he led a 51-7 run.
But
playoff game.
Derek, all right, good point. But they did play the Houston Texans.
51-7 for them.
They play the Houston Texans. They play the Houston Texans. I mean, what can you say, right?
Yeah, but hey man, when you up 24-0,
hey, but last year they had a decent. They still had a decent defense on their Houston side. They still had JJ Watt. They had some players, and
it was
as
all right.
They was up 3 to 4. They were all right. JJ's okay, but they were up 3 to 4 scores. And Patrick said, "Hold on, y'all, get on my back. Boom, boom, boom. We back in it. Not only are we
51 to
back in it,
7.
now we blowing them out.
Yeah, you can't
All
deny
right,
This
we
is
got-
Mahomes magic. You look at last year in the Super Bowl, they were down. Mahomes magic. Just somehow, some way, Mahomes just had.
Yep.
All right, we got Guillermo Hernandez. Brady will be the champ again. Agreed.
We'll see.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you for joining, and thank you everyone out there for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning for our Sunday pregame show at 9 Pacific. Thank you for watching again, and have a great night.
Yes, sir.